Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on Hbar. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about Hbar. I'm going to start with this, where fintech innovation starts and never stops. FIS, advancing the way the world pays, banks, and invest. Right now, all the talk is Fed now, and we know FIS is tied in there. A lot of people see that as the key for Hbar being tied into Fed now at some point. But did you ever wonder to yourself how big FIS actually is? The world runs on FIS. We work with 95% of the world's leading banks. We support more than 1 million merchants around the globe. So when you buy a coffee, check your balances, or invest in your 401k, you're likely running on FIS software. The world builds on FIS. Since 1968, we've been pushing the limits and building the strength of financial technology. That's why today, from Wall Street to Silicon Valley to places that have yet to emerge on the world scene, the most innovative companies partner with FIS to build differentiating payment, banking, and investment systems that improve the way we all live, work, and play. And FIS is one of the governing council members at Hedera. This company is absolutely massive, and it's such a small name, FIS, but yet it's so massive throughout the world. And, people downplay the idea of Hbar being tied in with Fed now, but it will eventually if it's not already being implemented as we speak. Because, the Fed is eventually going to it's going to tie in with crypto. And that's the next position for the Fed, in my opinion, because we're going to have a massive liquidity crisis in the United States. That's still coming. The banks are on shaky ground. Plus, we have the BRICS coming up with a digital currency backed by gold at the same time. The Fed most likely will look to crypto as a solution, and I think Hbar will fit part of that solution. They are building the institution intertrading rails for a new multi-trillion-dollar securities market, and Hedera is always at the forefront of this evolution. Targeted at institutions, regulated, open up digital assets to institutions. Hbar can spell bullish future. And I'm telling you right now, Hbar, just because the price isn't moving upward right now, eventually we are going to see an explosion in price on this cryptocurrency. I can see it coming. I've been doing so many videos on Hbar over time. Every single video is packed with announcement after announcement. You can't have that much growth without price movement. And I say it in every Hbar video because people still are overlooking the fact of what's really going on at Hedera. They're tied to everything. It's one of the most well-rounded companies. Hbar is one of the most well-rounded cryptocurrencies out there today. I speculate around Fed now, but I could see that becoming a reality as well. If companies like Google, IBM, and Standard Bank are willing to put their logo and brand in association with Hedera, then it does provide credibility. But not only that, also provides assurance that there is a governance model in place, which many other competing blockchain DLT frameworks don't really have. And you look at the names on that governing council, they're not going to get tied in with Hedera. If they're not going to utilize the network, it does not make sense for them to just jump on board and say, hey, we're a council member over there at Hedera, but we're not going to use the technology. That does not make sense at all. And those governing council members continue to expand and grow at an alarming rate as well. Everything is growing out except the price on Hbar, and that will come later. Now, this is one thing I think a lot of people are overlooking with Hedera. So explore the future of finance with Safeth. MySafethWallet.com and Hashpack.app DApp. Zero interest lending, dual staking for product rewards, bypass CBDC, zero capital gains tax, fully automated, decentralized, Web3 DLT. ditch traditional constraints and embrace a world of financial freedom. Safeth offers unmatched opportunities with zero-interest loans, product rewards through dual staking, and bypassing CBDC restrictions. No more worries about capital gains tax. Experience true decentralization on Web3 DLT. Now, I talked about Safeth in the past, and I think it's being overlooked. It's a way to borrow against your HBAR. It's a way to earn off of your HBAR as well. But I haven't seen anything big come around this yet. Like, I haven't seen the big announcements is what I'm saying. What's your opinion on Safeth? Put it in the comments section down below. Found by IOV Al. Hedera, Governing Council member, London School of Economics Innovation Unit, has helped incubate Alexandria, a project to commercialize the building of smart contracts for content license on Hedera. And other council members are growing in their own way as well and expanding at the same time. And that's the other thing I like about Hedera. Hedera brings not only the best technology to companies who are building on it, but also trust, which is as important as the tech itself. Now take a listen to this. After testing Ethereum and XLM, the team settled on Hedera. A core reason was the trust that Hedera Governing Council ensures financial institutions. Camilla Cadet, CEO at Emtech, walks us through their decision to leverage HBAR. Now keep in mind, Emtech chose Hedera over XLM, which is built for payments. Take a listen to this.
Our selection of Hedera as a protocol came in a very thoughtful way. The conversations were really digging into how the governing council was able to provide that trusted mechanism for a client segment like ours. So me walking into a central bank, I wanted to feel comfortable explaining what protocol we would be selling them and what protocol we would be advocating for. We tested, like I said, we tested Hyperledger when I was at IBM. For a period of time, we tested Stellar as well. And then we went to Ethereum. And the conversations continued with the Hedera team. And we started with just a consensus service and see how that worked. But went full-blown Hedera with also using Hedera token service when we saw the beauty of abstracting the difficulty of onboarding different node managers. If you've ever built a blockchain ecosystem on your own, you know how difficult that can be. Being able to convince enterprises, let alone in the financial services space, and I think we can look at examples in the market right now on how that did not work well, convincing different financial institutions of using some protocol's token or some other entity's token to facilitate payment was not something that was going to hold. So the abstraction of the node management and then having a clear strategy of having large enterprises that our client segment use for either their cloud deployment today, their security technology, their API technology, and that they trusted really made it easier for us to walk into the room and say, if you trust IBM to do your cloud, you can trust IBM to run a node for you. In the US government, if you trust Boeing to fly and to build planes, you can trust Boeing to actually manage a node and provide a public ledger mechanism.
Take notice how they first chose IBM, then they went to Ethereum and XLM, and still ended up going with Hedera. And I like the fact that Emtech says they're going to bring their clients to Hedera as well. So we'll most likely see more announcements around that. And take notice how she also said walking into a room knowing that she could trust the governing council over at Hedera. That's game changing. That's why that governing council is so important. Whether a startup on the cutting edge of disruption or established Fortune 500 company embarking on a digital transformation, we welcome you to join Hedera and our ever-growing ecosystem of innovative partners in shaping the future of Web3. Now, when you look at the partners that Hedera has, I mean, it's a very good list of partners, but they're tied to energy and utilities, healthcare, insurance, oil and gas. And then you go on beyond that and you see how it's tied to supply chain. And the list just goes on and on. It's very impressive. They have a great partner list. And as you start breaking down these partnerships, you realize how big they actually are. And that's why I said you can't have all this growth without price movement. Since the release of the Fed's note, there have been rumors about which network could be used for the task, with much speculation focusing on Hedera. Rumored Hedera working on the digital dollar with the central bank. And you know, this has always been floating around over time. Everybody that is invested in crypto, they want to see their cryptocurrency tied in with the Fed. They want it tied to this CBDC or that CBDC. I think everything is building perfectly. And we're at a position right now where we're so early in the crypto. You got to keep in mind, we beat the institutions here. We're waiting for them to get on board. So as we're sitting back, being patient, being optimistic on our investment, we get to see this all built out from the bottom up. But I think once institutions get here, that's game over. If you're not invested in the right way, you will just be left behind. That's the other reason I like to invest in Hbar. Robots can't take your job if you're already retired. And that's true. And right now, because we're in the fourth industrial revolution, all the talk is AI taking people's jobs. Things going automated more and more on a daily basis. But if you invest in the right way, you don't even need to worry about that. You know, you got to break the cycle of working to a certain age. You got to be able to retire yourself early and go do all the things you want to do. Because, you know, you get one life. And why not live it to the fullest? And once you get that financial freedom, it's not that money buys everything, but it does buy you time. And that's the most important thing. It gives you the time to do what you want to do for once, instead of working that 9 to 5 and going through the routine. That's why investing is also so important, because it breaks that cycle. And you set yourself free from the cycle at the same time. But I do believe if you don't enrich yourself soon, most likely AI will take over a lot of the jobs. And it's not going to be just your average, you know, person that works at McDonald's job. It's going to be, there's Chat GTP that can argue court cases now. Think about that in the future. All of a sudden, you bring AI into the courtroom with you to fight out a parking ticket or something like that. But it goes beyond that as well. Everything's changing is what I'm saying. But you got to stay patient and stay positive right now, or you will never get to the finish line. If you sell too early, you will always regret it. But with that said, I'm going to wrap up today's video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.